Here's what nobody tells you about winter drone flying. The DJI Neo 2 is absolutely capable of handling cold weather. The problem isn't the drone. It's that everything you know about flying in normal conditions gets flipped upside down when temperatures drop below freezing. The margins for error shrink, battery behavior becomes unpredictable, and that beautiful snow-covered landscape you want to film, it's hiding moisture traps that can brick your drone in seconds. But I've spent the last 6 weeks putting the Neo 2 through every cold weather scenario I could find, and I've discovered something fascinating. When you understand what actually changes in winter and adjust your approach accordingly, the Neo 2 doesn't just survive cold weather, it thrives in it. The footage you can capture is absolutely worth the extra preparation. So let me break down everything you need to know, starting with why the official specifications only tell half the story. The Cold Hard Truth DJI officially rates the Neo 2's operating temperature range from -10 degrees Celsius to 40 degrees Celsius, or 14 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit. On paper, that sounds pretty reassuring, right? The drone should work fine as long as temperatures stay within that range. But here's where marketing specs and real-world performance start to diverge pretty dramatically. When DJI tests temperature ratings, they're measuring whether the drone's electronics and motors can function at those temperatures. And yes, they absolutely can. The Neo 2's stabilization system works flawlessly in cold air. The motors don't strain, the flight controller doesn't glitch. From a mechanical standpoint, this little drone is surprisingly robust when the mercury drops. But temperature ratings don't account for 3 critical factors that actually determine whether your winter flight succeeds or fails catastrophically. First, there's battery chemistry, which changes dramatically in cold conditions. We'll dive deep into that in a minute. Second, there's moisture in all its forms: fog, wet snow, frost, condensation. These create failure modes that have nothing to do with air temperature. Third, there's the human factor. Your hands get cold, your decision-making gets rushed, your dexterity decreases. The drone might be rated for -10 degrees Celsius, but are you? This is why I've seen flights fail at 5 degrees and succeed at -15. The difference wasn't the temperature, it was preparation. And that's exactly what separates a successful winter session from a disaster. Battery mastery. Let's talk about the single most important factor in winter flying: your battery. Forget everything else for a moment, because if you don't understand cold weather battery behavior, nothing else matters. Here's the chemistry lesson you actually need. Lithium polymer batteries generate power through chemical reactions. When temperatures drop, those chemical reactions slow down. The battery doesn't have less energy stored, it just can't deliver that energy as quickly. This is why you see sudden voltage drops that seem to come out of nowhere. The battery might show half charge, but when the motors demand power for a maneuver or to fight wind, the cold battery simply can't deliver. Voltage sags, the flight controller panics, and you get that emergency landing warning. Now here's the critical part most pilots miss. This isn't gradual. A cold battery can appear fine for several minutes, then fall off a cliff. I've logged this repeatedly. You'll fly for 3 or 4 minutes with normal performance, then suddenly lose 30% capacity in less than a minute. It's not a defect, it's physics. So, what's the solution? First, change your landing threshold completely. In summer, landing at 20% battery is fine. In winter, that's reckless. I land at 40% minimum, and here's why. That 40% gives me enough reserve power to handle unexpected wind, reposition calmly if my landing zone isn't clear, and still have emergency power if something goes wrong. Think of it as your cold weather insurance policy. Second, keep your spare batteries warm using the simplest method that actually works: body heat. The Neo 2 batteries are small enough to fit in your inside jacket pocket. Keep them there. Your body maintains a consistent 37 degrees Celsius, which keeps the batteries at optimal operating temperature without any fancy equipment. If you're carrying a camera bag, a hand warmer on low setting works perfectly. Not to heat the batteries actively, just to prevent them from cooling down to ambient temperature. I've tested electronic warmers, chemical warmers, insulated pouches. Body heat wins every time for simplicity and effectiveness. The difference in flight time between a warm battery and a cold one, I've seen improvements of 40% to 60%. That's not an exaggeration. That's documented across multiple flights. Warm batteries aren't just about convenience. They fundamentally change what's possible in winter conditions. Snow and moisture management. Now let's tackle the question everyone asks. Can you fly the Neo 2 in snow? The answer is yes, but with a massive caveat that determines whether you're being smart or stupid. Not all snow is created equal, and understanding the difference could save your drone. When temperatures are well below freezing, let's say -5 or colder, snow tends to be dry and powdery. This is the good stuff. Dry snow doesn't stick to surfaces, doesn't melt on contact, and gets blown away by propeller wash before it ever reaches the drone's body. I've flown in light, powdery snowfall multiple times without any issues whatsoever. The drone comes back completely dry. But wet snow is a completely different beast, and this is where pilots get into trouble. When temperatures hover right around 0 degrees, snow has moisture content. It sticks to surfaces, it melts from motor heat, and once water gets into the wrong places, motor bearings, circuit boards, connector seams, you're looking at potential short circuits or corrosion damage that might not show up immediately, but will kill your drone eventually. Here's the test I use on location. I catch a few snowflakes and see if they melt on my glove or stay powdery. If they melt quickly, I seriously reconsider flying. If they stay dry and dust off easily, conditions are probably safe. The second moisture threat people ignore is condensation. This happens when you bring a cold drone into a warm environment too quickly. Warm air holds more moisture than cold air, and when that moisture hits your freezing cold drone, it condenses instantly on every surface. I've seen moisture form inside battery compartments, on circuit boards, everywhere. The solution is simple but requires patience. When you're done flying, put your drone in a sealed plastic bag before bringing it inside. Let it warm up to room temperature gradually inside the bag. Any condensation forms on the outside of the bag instead of on your drone. Wait 30 minutes before opening the bag. It's tedious, but it works perfectly. This simple step has probably saved me from multiple moisture-related failures that would have been completely preventable. Propeller icing and inspection. Here's a failure mode that doesn't happen every flight, but when it does, it's serious. Propeller icing. Even thin ice accumulation on the props throws off the carefully calibrated balance that keeps the Neo 2 stable. You'll notice increased vibration first, then reduced efficiency as the motors work harder to maintain altitude. And in worst-case scenarios, you can actually stress the propeller structure to the point of failure. Ice buildup happens when you're flying through moisture-heavy air in below freezing temperatures. Think fog, mist, or that zone right above snow-covered ground where humidity is higher. The Neo 2's short flight time actually becomes an advantage here because every battery swap creates a natural inspection checkpoint. Make this a non-negotiable habit. Before you launch each battery, physically inspect all 4 propellers. Look for any ice formation, even if it's just a thin glaze. Run your finger along the leading edge. If you feel anything that wasn't there before, that flight is done until conditions improve. No shot is worth a failed propeller at altitude. I carry a small microfiber cloth specifically for this purpose. If I see frost or ice starting to form, I can gently wipe the props before the next flight. But if ice keeps forming flight after flight, that's nature telling you to pack up. Listen to it. The landscape will be there tomorrow, but your drone might not be if you push through icing conditions. This is one of those areas where experience teaches you humility. You only need to ignore icing warnings once to learn why you should never ignore them again. Winter flight technique. Your flying style needs to adapt to winter conditions, and this is where efficiency becomes everything. In warm weather, you can fly aggressively. Quick acceleration, hard stops, constant repositioning. The battery tolerates it. But in winter, every aggressive input costs you disproportionately more power. Cold batteries already have reduced output capacity, and when you demand sudden power draws, you're stressing an already compromised system. The Neo 2 actually performs best in winter when you fly smoothly and deliberately. Plan your shots before launching. Execute them with steady, controlled movements. Let the drone's intelligent flight modes do the work instead of manually fighting for every frame. Smooth flying accomplishes 3 things simultaneously. It keeps motor efficiency high because gradual power changes are more efficient than sudden spikes. It keeps the stabilization system relaxed rather than constantly correcting aggressive inputs. And it produces cleaner footage anyway. There's a common misconception that smooth flying means timid flying. That's completely wrong. You can still capture dynamic, cinematic footage. You're just being more intentional about how you get there. Think of it like driving on ice. You're not going slower necessarily, you're just being smoother with the accelerator and steering. Every input is deliberate rather than reactive. Here's a specific technique that saved me countless times in winter. Instead of fighting wind to hold position, I work with it. If wind is pushing the drone, I'll incorporate that movement into the shot rather than burning battery fighting against physics. Orbit shots become drift shots. Static hovers become slow revision. reveals. This approach isn't about compromise, it's about adaptation that actually produces more interesting results while conserving precious flight time. And speaking of wind, remember that wind chill affects your drone just like it affects you. A negative 5-degree day with 20 km/h winds creates conditions that feel more like negative 15 to the battery. Factor this into your flight planning. Hand operations and human factors. Let's talk about one of the Neo 2's genuine advantages in winter conditions: hand launching and landing. This isn't just convenient, it's transformative for winter operations. No landing pad needed, no interaction with snow-covered ground, no debris getting kicked up into motors, and complete control from takeoff to touchdown. You avoid ground moisture entirely, which eliminates a whole category of potential problems. I cannot overstate how much simpler this makes winter flying compared to larger drones that require ground launch. Just make sure your gloves allow enough dexterity to safely catch and hold the drone. I use thin photography gloves that maintain touchscreen compatibility while providing just enough insulation to keep my fingers functional. Because here's the truth, nobody mentions in drone reviews. Most winter flights don't end because the drone failed. They end because your hands are too cold to continue. Once your fingers go numb, your decision-making deteriorates, your dexterity disappears, and mistakes become inevitable. Cold hands lead to rushed decisions. Rushed decisions lead to crashes. This is why glove selection matters as much as battery selection. Don't use bulky winter gloves. They make controller operation nearly impossible. Don't fly barehanded. You'll last maybe 5 minutes. Find that middle ground of thin, insulated gloves that keep your hands warm enough to maintain full control. And let's discuss bag choice briefly, because it matters more than you'd think. Backpacks are great in normal conditions, but in winter they're problematic. Every time you need a battery, you're taking off the pack, setting it down in snow, opening it up. Meanwhile, everything's getting cold and potentially wet. Switch to a shoulder bag or messenger-style bag for winter. Everything stays accessible without setting gear down. Batteries stay warmer because the bag stays close to your body. You minimize exposure for both yourself and your equipment. Small adjustment, massive practical impact. Why winter flying is worth it now. Here's the part that makes all this preparation worthwhile. Winter produces footage that simply cannot be captured any other time of year, and the Neo 2 is perfectly positioned to take advantage of it. The light quality in winter is absolutely extraordinary. The sun stays lower on the horizon, creating longer golden hours with softer, more directional light. Snow acts as a massive natural reflector, filling in shadows and creating this beautiful, even illumination that makes colors pop against white backgrounds. The air tends to be clearer because humidity is lower, which means you get sharper details at distance and better contrast. But beyond technical quality, there's something about winter footage that just feels different emotionally. Environments are quieter, cleaner, less cluttered visually. A forest in summer is dense and chaotic. That same forest in winter becomes minimalist and intentional. Every tree branch stands out. Every track in the snow tells a story. The Neo 2's compact size means you can hike into locations that would be difficult or impossible with larger drones, and winter landscapes reward exploration. I've captured some of my favorite footage ever during winter sessions. Frozen waterfalls, frost-covered fields at sunrise, fog rolling through valleys with just the tops of trees visible. These moments don't exist in summer. And here's something I've noticed. Winter flying makes you a better pilot overall. The tighter margins for error force you to be more deliberate with planning. The battery constraints make you more efficient with shot selection. The environmental challenges teach you to read conditions and make smart decisions rather than just sending the drone up and hoping for the best. Pilots who master winter flying develop skills that make them significantly better in normal conditions. It's like training at altitude. When you come back to sea level, everything feels easier. The complete winter system. Let me bring this all together into a complete system you can actually use. Before you leave home, charge all batteries, but keep them at room temperature until you're ready to leave. Pack them in inside pockets, not in your bag. Bring that microfiber cloth for propeller inspection. Dress in layers with thin gloves. On location, assess snow conditions using the melt test. Check wind and temperature. Keep batteries in your jacket until immediately before flight. During flight, fly smoothly and deliberately. Monitor battery percentage constantly. Land at 40% minimum. Between flights, inspect propellers for ice. Keep batteries warm. Don't rush. After flying, seal the drone in a plastic bag before bringing it into warm environments. Let it warm gradually. Inspect for any moisture or damage once it reaches room temperature. These aren't suggestions. These are the the 5 non-negotiable rules that determine success or failure: warm batteries, short flights with early landing thresholds, moisture awareness, smooth flying technique, and proper temperature transition management. Master these 5 things, and winter becomes one of the most rewarding seasons to fly. Ignore any one of them, and you're relying on luck. The DJI Neo 2 is absolutely capable of winter flying, not because it ignores the cold, but because it behaves predictably when you understand the constraints. Everything I've shared in this video comes from real flights, real failures, and real solutions that actually work. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your biggest concern about flying in winter? Drop it in the comments and I'll answer every single one. If this video helped you feel more confident about winter flying, smash that like button and subscribe, because I'm putting out a new winter flying video next week specifically about extreme cold conditions below -20 Celsius. You won't want to miss it. Until then, keep those batteries warm, keep your flights smooth, and go capture something beautiful. I'll see you in the next one.